Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and when we went to break, I was speaking with District 3 Councilperson Carroll Fife, who is, I must say, just totally dynamic. As a matter of fact, I'm so impressed with her, and I was speaking about the new police chief, Lerone Armstrong. So, and I said that he is a newly inducted member of the 100 Black Men of the Bay Area, and that speaks for itself. But the chief will have some real problems because so far this year, as I indicated at the beginning of this program, some 30 plus individuals have been murdered in the city of Oakland. So, Carolyn, what do you think we ought to do about that, or what can be done? I noticed you indicated that one person who had robbed somebody did so because they were trying to get a Taco Bell or something. Mm-hmm. So it's a real problem. Is that correct?
It is a real problem. I think COVID has exacerbated what was already an issue in Black communities. And the unilateral cuts that were made to the police budget without any community input, without talking to the people at Ceasefire, without talking to any city council members, this upper level management decision that was made was very harmful. And I really think that the residents of Oakland need to hold the city administrator accountable for not listening to them about what was actually needed before making these broad sweeping cuts.
Who gets to have input into those decisions? Do the citizens of Oakland?
What happened recently in December of 2020, no one.
Not even the city council?
Not even the city council.
How can that be?
They said that because we are in a fiscal emergency, that gives this executive branch unilateral authority to make decisions for the city. And that's what happened.
Unilateral authority. Wow, that is awesome.
Without coming to council, without coming to community. But that led to some of the trauma that we're experiencing in the community right now and the misallocation of resources throughout the city. And now with the American Rescue Act, the stimulus plan that's come through, we can see that a lot of this was premature. And it will have lifelong impacts because people have actually lost their lives with these irresponsible cuts that have been made recently.
Now, speaking of people have lost their incomes, I understand the mayor has just proposed, just recently, a new program called a Guaranteed Income for Oaklanders. I guess it's for roughly 600 people. And how does that work, or how will it work, and what do you think about it?
That's another concern that I have because this was not communicated with the council, so I'm not sure how it will work.
You mean not at all?
None of the council members that I've spoken to know anything about this. I think there's one council person that is a favorite of the mayor, but I think if you're having these kinds of decisions that will impact residents throughout the city, it's important to talk to the representatives from every district, not just the ones that you like the best. So what's being discussed right now is a universal basic income. And I think that is very necessary to keep people afloat, to address their basic needs. That's why it's a basic income. But it is a one-time program for, there are over 400,000 residents in the city of Oakland. So to serve a few hundred, and I don't know how they are being chosen, I don't think is sufficient for what's needed in the face of COVID. Black folks were already struggling. And I think we need to be very clear with the city council as well as the public about what this program actually will do in the long term, because there will be residual impacts for years to come if it's not addressed appropriately. So what I suggested in terms of a universal basic income 2 weeks ago was that we use the CDBG Funds, which is brings in about $13 million annually to the city of Oakland, and reprogram those. Because if we gave Oakland residents that $500 a month using the CDBG funds, we could serve at least 20,000 people. And that will reach a lot more folks than just this few hundred.
Now, what about the Oakland Aids? Any thoughts on Oakland Aids, where they should be located? Howard Terminal, Coliseum, or what?
I think the places that need the most development in the city are East Oakland. District 6 and 7 are highly underserved. There's no real development that brings people or attracts people to the area. It's highly depressed and has been for generations. My personal perspective is to develop the Coliseum for a team, a sports team. And I understand that there's a robust plan that's been put forward by the Black Entertainment Group, a group of African American investors who want to have the first Black team at the Coliseum.
And I understand that that's a very interesting concept coming from you, since you represent District 3, who is advocating for District 6 and 7. That's the kind of leadership we need in Oakland. We're going to have to go to break. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host.